Hey everyone, welcome to our channel. Today we're diving into something that can boost your confidence and help you shine. Public speaking. Whether you're preparing for a big presentation at work, a speech at an event, or even a talk at a community gathering, we've got 15 powerful tips to help you speak with confidence and impact no matter the occasion. So let's jump right in and make sure your next speech is your best one yet. Tip number 1, know your audience and tailor your content. Before you even begin crafting your speech, the first thing you should do is understand your audience. Who are they? What do they care about? This could mean anything from their age group to their professional background or even their cultural experiences. Are you speaking to a room full of experts in your field, or are they people completely unfamiliar with the topic? Understanding this will guide everything from the tone of your speech to the kinds of examples you use. Think of it like having a chat with a friend. You naturally adjust how you speak depending on who you're talking to, right? You want to be relatable, and that means making sure your message resonates with who's listening. A great way to get to know your audience is by doing a little research, whether it's a casual conversation before the event or even looking up details about the event itself. Knowing your crowd will help you deliver a message that sticks with them long after you've left the stage. Tip number 2, practice, practice, practice. There's a famous saying, practice makes perfect, and in the world of public speaking, it couldn't be truer. But here's the thing, don't just memorize your speech word for word like you're cramming for an exam. Instead, focus on becoming familiar with the flow of your talk. The goal is for the delivery to feel natural and conversational, like you're talking to someone one-on-one. Practice with different scenarios in mind. Sometimes there might be background noise, or maybe you'll have to speak without notes. By practicing in varied settings, you'll prepare yourself for real-world situations where things don't always go as planned. Also, don't underestimate the power of practicing in front of others, even if it's just a friend or family member. They can give you feedback on things that you might not notice yourself. With enough practice, you'll not only feel more confident, but also become more flexible, ready to handle any curveball the presentation might throw at you. Number 3. Start strong, grab till their attention immediately. Your opening line is crucial. Think of it like the hook in a great story or the opening scene of a movie. If it doesn't grab you right away, it's easy to lose interest. Start with something that pulls your audience in, a surprising statistic, a thought-provoking question, or even a personal anecdote. The first 30 seconds can determine how invested your audience will be for the rest of your speech. Remember, you're not just giving them information, you're setting the stage for a journey. So think about what will make them sit up and say, "Oh, this is going to be good." By hooking them right away, you create a sense of anticipation for what's to come. And that's exactly how you want your audience to feel. Number 4, focus on key points, not everything. It's tempting to try and cram in every detail you know about a topic. But here's the reality. More information doesn't always equal a better speech. Instead, zero in on the key points that matter most, and build your talk around those. When you choose just a few main ideas to focus on, you can spend more time developing them and providing the context, examples, and stories that will make them memorable. Think of it like cooking. You don't need every ingredient in your kitchen to make a delicious dish, you just need the right ones. By focusing on your strongest ideas, you make your message more digestible and impactful. It's better to leave your audience with a few key takeaways rather than overwhelm them with too much information that they won't remember anyway. Tip number 5, tell stories to build connection. People love stories. It's how we've communicated for thousands of years, and they're one of the most powerful tools in a public speaker's toolkit. Why? Because stories make things relatable. When you share a personal experience or a real-life example, your audience sees themselves in what you're saying. Stories add color and emotion to your message, turning abstract ideas into something tangible. You don't need to be an expert storyteller, just speak from the heart. Whether it's a lesson you learned, a challenge you overcame, or even a funny mishap, sharing a story helps break down barriers and humanizes you to your audience. They're more likely to connect with you and your message when they see the person behind the speech. Number 6, control your pace, don't rush it. Ever been in a situation where someone's talking so fast you can barely keep up? It's stressful, right? One of the biggest mistakes new speakers make is rushing through their speech, especially if they're nervous. But here's the thing, pace yourself. Speak slower than you think you need to. Not only will this give you more time to think about what you're saying, but it also allows your audience to actually absorb the information. Pauses, too, are powerful. A well-timed pause can emphasize a key point, give your audience time to reflect, or simply create a moment of suspense. When you control your pace, you control the room. Take your time, breathe, and let your words land. Now, let's get into tip number 7. But before that, just a quick reminder to subscribe to our channel. We've got plenty of great videos full of amazing practical tips on all sorts of topics coming your way. Make sure to join our community and to stay updated with us. So, tip number 7 is about your eye contact and body language. They say actions speak louder than words, and in public speaking, that's definitely true. The way you move, the gestures you make, and your eye contact all contribute to how your message is received. Eye contact is a huge trust builder. When you look someone in the eye, even for just a moment, it creates a connection, and that connection helps keep your audience engaged. As for body language, the key is to be natural. You don't need to choreograph every hand movement, but avoid crossing your arms or standing stiffly. Both can make you seem closed off or nervous. Instead, let your body move in a way that feels organic to your message. The more comfortable and confident you are, the more your audience will believe in what you're saying. Number 8, visual aids. Less is more. Visual aids can be super helpful, but they should never steal the show. Remember, you're the star, not your slides. A slide filled with text will only distract your audience, as they'll be too busy reading to actually listen to you. Instead, use visuals sparingly and strategically. Think of them as supporting actors. They're there to enhance your performance, not take over. Use images, graphs, or key phrases to underline your points, but keep it simple. The simpler your visuals, the more effective they'll be. And always make sure you're talking to your audience, not reading off your slides. Number 9, overcoming nerves. Embrace the butterflies. Nerves aren't a bad thing. They're actually a sign that you care about what you're doing. Even the most experienced public speakers get butterflies before stepping on stage. The trick is not to let them control you. One way to manage nerves is through deep breathing exercises. Before you start, take a few slow, deep breaths. This helps calm your mind and body, bringing your heart rate down and helping you focus. Another great technique is visualization. Imagine yourself giving a successful, confident speech. The more vividly you picture it, the more real it will feel when you're actually on stage. Remember, nerves are normal, but they don't have to define your performance. Tip number 10, get feedback, record yourself. Want to really improve your public speaking skills? Record yourself. Whether it's with your phone or a camera, seeing and hearing yourself is one of the best ways to spot areas for improvement. You'll notice things like how often you say whether you're speaking too fast, or if your gestures seem awkward. It can feel a bit uncomfortable at first, but the more you watch yourself, the more you'll learn. Another great option is to ask a trusted friend or colleague for feedback. They can offer insights you might not catch on your own. Now, when getting the feedback, don't just focus on what didn't work. It's important to also take note of what you did well, so you can build on those strengths and make your speech even better. Number 11, the power of silence. Use pauses for impact. In public speaking, silence is golden. A well-placed pause can emphasize a point, give your audience time to process what you've just said, or even create suspense for what's coming next. Pausing also gives you a moment to collect your thoughts and steady your nerves. Don't be afraid of silence. It's one of the most powerful tools you have as a speaker. When used intentionally, a pause can make your speech feel more dynamic and engaging. It shows confidence and control, and your audience will appreciate the space to reflect on your message. Tip number 12, stay hydrated and warm up your voice. Your voice is your primary tool in public speaking, and like any tool, it needs care and maintenance. Staying hydrated is key, but avoid drinks that can affect your vocal cords, like sugary sodas or dairy products. Before you speak, take a few minutes to warm up your voice. Simple exercises like humming, lip trills, or vocal stretches can make a big difference in how your voice performs during your speech. You'll not only sound better, but you'll also be less likely to strain your vocal cords, especially if you're speaking for an extended period. Number 13, be yourself and let your personality shine. Authenticity is your greatest asset. When you speak from the heart and let your personality shine through, people can tell, and they respond to that. It's tempting to try to emulate famous speakers or use fancy language to impress the audience. But in reality, the most effective way to make an impact is by being genuine. People are drawn to authenticity. If you're naturally funny, don't be afraid to inject humor. If you're passionate about your topic, let that excitement show. You don't have to be perfect. In fact, imperfections can make you more relatable. Your audience wants to connect with your story, your experiences, and your unique perspective. Number 14. Engage with your audience. Make it a conversation. Public speaking doesn't have to be a one-way street. In fact, the more you can engage with your audience, the more connected they'll feel to your message. Ask questions, even rhetorical ones, to get people thinking. Depending on the setting, you might even take questions from the audience or invite participation. Interaction builds rapport and keeps people attentive, which is especially important if you're delivering a longer presentation. Another great trick is to make eye contact with individual audience members. It creates the illusion of a personal conversation and makes your speech feel more intimate, even in front of a large group. Finally, tip number 15, close with confidence. Leave a lasting impression. The way you end your speech is just as important as how you begin it. Think of your closing as your final opportunity to leave a lasting impression. Summarize your key points so your audience walks away with the main takeaways fresh in their minds. But don't just recap, end with a bang. Whether it's an inspiring call to action, a memorable quote, or a thought-provoking statement, your conclusion should be powerful enough that it sticks with your audience long after you've left the stage. Whatever you choose, make sure your ending feels intentional and confident. When you finish strong, your audience leaves feeling empowered and engaged, which is exactly what you want. So there you have it, our top 15 tips for speaking in public like a pro. Whether you're just starting out or looking to sharpen your skills, these tips will help you feel more confident and deliver with impact. We would love to hear your own tips or ideas. Drop them in the comments so we can all learn from each other. We want to thank you for watching and spending time with us today. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, be sure to do so to keep up with more great tips on various topics. We hope to see you next time. Have a fantastic day.